So introduce yourself, your role, and share what's the best thing about working in the contingent workforce industry.
Yeah, Belissa, thank you
Yes.
so much for having me. You and Ashish have been so welcoming and have really made my first conference such a joy.
Oh, so happy to hear
So
that.
thank you. So Camille Shawley, I work within Walmart's procurement group, specifically global procurement, and I support non-tech human resource services. The thing that I am most looking forward to within contingent workforce, or the thing that I enjoy the most, I'd say what really excites me is that it's at the intersection of people. We are all people. We can all relate to that. Exciting new beginnings and endings, as well as business strategy and the talent acquisition part, right? Like HR, human resources. So it's at an interesting intersection, and it's just dynamic and never boring.
It really is never boring. So we're at the tail end of the conference, literally the end of the conference right now.
Yes.
Talk to me about some of the trends that you heard mentioned throughout. Anything that you really think is going to kind of take hold over the next 12 months? What are you excited about?
Yeah. I think what I've heard a lot the past 2 days is AI. I think we're
The
gonna.
most popular response.
Yes. That's no surprise. I think maybe something new that I could add to that would just be the continuation of seeking value. Trying to find innovation, asking for fresh perspectives, trying to bring fresh perspectives. With it being my first conference, I was encouraged to look at different vendors, different partners, and just bring that fresh lens and see what I could learn. So, I think that will be a trend in the next 12 months, maybe an evergreen trend where, whether it be in a current contract, a new contract, always trying to bring fresh perspective to any partnership, any opportunity.
And now that you've had the opportunity to kind of engage with different partners or potential partners throughout the conference, like what are some of those best practices to really ensuring a good partnership with some of the vendors?
Yeah. Communication. Takes two to communicate, two to miscommunicate. So, procurement's in this interesting middle ground where they can represent a company, but they're also trying to keep a company accountable to that partnership in a way. So I think there's a lot of onus on a partner, on a vendor. When you're being paid to do something, I think there's a lot of onus on them to always proactively communicate. But I think that is very much a two-way street. Where I see successful relationships is where both sides can be flexible and agile.
Yeah.
And
challenging. I think that's
Yeah.
one thing that we spoke about today, that there is this like underlying fear to push back, for partners to push back, but that's really what they're being paid for.
Yes.
Right? If you think about a perfect marriage, it ebbs and
Yes.
flows, right? You
Yes.
have healthy
Any
discourse,
relationship,
and
absolutely.
they're at the forefront, or we are at the forefront of really understanding what we are anticipating in the marketplace, in the
Yes.
industry. What does the future of workforce
Yes.
look like? And I think we should be encouraged,
Yes.
right, to kind of do that dance with
Yes.
our partners.
Couldn't agree more. Well said. Yeah, from every relationship and every type of relationship. Absolutely.
So if we think about the changing landscape, it's changing a lot. How we collaborate with our partners also needs to continue to evolve. What are you seeing? Like, what's your approach to partners?
Yeah, I really love when partners have, a link to calendar time with them, because I know, okay, if this is something where I can't get them on the phone quickly, they're traveling, they're always on calls, an email might not seem like the right forum
Sure.
for a message or a question. I love just being able to schedule time with them. So, I think just a quick informal touch point. You know, I really
So communication.
Yeah.
Communication. Like,
yeah, back to the
let's
basics,
go
right?
back to the basics. Communication. I would love to add to that more in-person communication.
Yeah.
We've lost so much of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Based on the past few years. Talk to me about the future of work. Last question here. Like, what are you most excited about?
You know, I'm interested to see what return to office and what different, especially at Walmart, you know, we've built this beautiful new campus headquarters. Excited to see how that impacts, influences culture. And, you know, and there is brand awareness for the Fortune 1 company.
Sure.
But I'm curious to see, you know, how that impacts folks from different sectors wanting to work at Walmart.
And has that been rolled out already at Walmart?
In terms of a return to office,
Yes.
I would say so.
5 days.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it seems to be very team specific because
Sure.
there are still hybrid teams or teams that are truly relocating from one state to another. But yeah, ever since I've been in Bentonville, it's been, you know, 5 days on campus.
Oh my God. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Camille.
Yes.
Really appreciate you being here. I
Yes.
hope you had an incredible first year
Yes.
at
Thank
CWS.
you. Thank you so much for having me and for the opportunity.
Awesome. Thanks.